Hey, have you ever tried different types of cheese from around the world?
Yes, I love cheese. There are so many varieties to explore. What's your favorite type of cheese?
I'm a fan of cheddar. It's such a classic cheese with a sharp flavor that goes well with so many dishes. How about you?
I enjoy mozzarella. It's so versatile and perfect for pizzas and salads. Have you tried any exotic cheeses?
Not yet, but I've heard about blue cheese and brie. They seem quite unique and flavorful. What do you know about them?
Blue cheese has a strong, tangy taste and a crumbly texture. It's great for adding a bold flavor to dishes. Brie, on the other hand, is a soft cheese with a creamy texture and a mild flavor.
That sounds intriguing. I'd love to try them sometime. Have you explored any other types of cheese?
Yes, I've also tried Gouda and feta. Gouda has a rich, nutty flavor, while feta is tangy and crumbly, perfect for salads. Each cheese has its own unique characteristics.
It's fascinating how cheese can vary so much in taste and texture. I'm curious about exploring more types like Swiss cheese and camembert. Have you tasted those?
Swiss cheese has a nutty and slightly sweet flavor with those iconic holes. Camembert is a soft, creamy cheese with a rich taste. They are both delightful choices.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about all these cheeses. It's amazing how cheese can be enjoyed in so many ways, from simple snacks to gourmet dishes.
Absolutely. Cheese adds depth and richness to so many recipes. It's a versatile ingredient that can elevate any meal. Do you have any favorite cheese pairings?
I love pairing cheddar with apples or grapes for a sweet and savory combination. How about you?
I enjoy pairing mozzarella with tomatoes and basil for a classic caprese salad. It's a refreshing and delicious combination. Cheese truly enhances the flavors of any dish.
Definitely. Exploring different types of cheese opens up a world of culinary possibilities. I can't wait to try more exotic cheeses and experiment with new flavors.
It's a delightful journey discovering the diverse world of cheese. Let's plan a cheese tasting session soon to savor these delicious varieties.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I'm looking forward to it. Cheese truly brings people together in the most delicious way.
Absolutely. Cheese is not just food, it's an experience that delights the senses and creates lasting memories.
Hey Hazel, I heard you went to that new fancy restaurant downtown last weekend. How was it?
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I'm still dreaming about the food. It was definitely the best meal I've had in a long time.
Wow, that's high praise. What made it so amazing? I've been wanting to try that place, but it's so expensive.
Well, first of all, the atmosphere was just beautiful. The decor was so elegant and the service was impeccable. They really made you feel special.
That's good to hear. I was a little worried it might be stuffy or pretentious, you know?
Not at all. The staff was so friendly and attentive. They really went out of their way to make sure we had an amazing experience.
Okay, that's reassuring. And the food? What did you end up ordering?
I started with the most incredible crab cake appetizer. It was so fresh and flavorful. Then for my main course, I had this juicy steak with the most delicious mushroom sauce.
Oh, that does sound amazing. I'm getting hungry just listening to you describe it.
It was heavenly, I'm telling you. And the presentation was so beautiful, too. Like a work of art on the plate.
Maybe it is worth the splurge then. I'll have to save up and treat myself. What about dessert?
Oh, you have to try the chocolate lava cake. It was to die for. So rich and gooey, it was the perfect way to end the meal.
That sounds incredible. I need to get myself there ASAP. My mouth is watering just thinking about it.
You really do, it's an experience you don't want to miss. I can't wait to go back, to be honest.
I bet. Okay, you've convinced me. I'm going to make a reservation for my birthday next month. Hopefully I can get in.
Ooh, your birthday dinner at that place. You're going to love it, I just know it. Let me know if you need any tips on what to order.
Definitely, I'll be picking your brain. Thanks so much for the recommendation, Hazel. I can't wait.
Of course. Enjoy, you deserve a special night out. Talk to you soon.
Sounds good, bye.
Hey Tom, can I ask you a quick question about the stock market? I've been thinking about getting into investing and I'm a bit confused.
Oh, sure, I'd be happy to chat about it. What would you like to know?
Well, I'm just trying to understand the basics, how it all works and what the key things are to consider.
Okay, let me see if I can break it down for you. The stock market is basically where publicly traded companies' shares are bought and sold.
I see. So when I buy a share of a company, what does that mean exactly?
Well, when you buy a share, you're essentially becoming a partial owner of that company. Your investment rises and falls along with the company's performance.
Ah, I get it. So the value of the shares goes up and down based on how the company is doing?
Exactly. The share price fluctuates based on factors like the company's earnings, its future prospects, and overall market conditions.
Okay, that makes sense. And what are some of the reasons people invest in the stock market?
Well, the main reasons are to try to grow your money over time and potentially earn a decent return on your investment.
Interesting. So it's kind of like a way to build wealth and savings for the future.
Absolutely. Many people use the stock market as a way to supplement their retirement savings or achieve other long-term financial goals.
I see. And what are some of the risks involved with investing in stocks?
The main risk is that the value of your investments can go down as well as up. The stock market can be quite volatile at times.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to invest money I can't afford to potentially lose.
Exactly. It's important to only invest what you're comfortable with and to diversify your portfolio to manage the risks.
Diversify, huh? What does that mean in the context of investing?
It means spreading your investments across different companies, industries, and asset types, rather than putting all your money into one or two stocks.
Got it, that makes sense. Okay, this is really helpful. I feel like I have a better grasp on the basics now.
That's great. I'm glad I could give you a bit of an overview. Let me know if you have any other questions as you start exploring investing.
Will do, thanks Tom. I think I'm going to do some more research on my own, but this has been a good starting point.
Sounds good. Just remember to start small and slow as you get your feet wet in the stock market. It's easy to get carried away.
Definitely, good advice. All right, back to work for us. But I appreciate you taking the time to explain all this.
Happy to help anytime. Catch you later, Emily.
You too, Tom. Thanks again.
Hey, have you ever thought about passive income?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. Can you explain?
Sure. Passive income is money you earn regularly with little to no effort required to maintain it. It's different from active income, where you exchange your time and effort for money.
Ah, I see. So, like investments or rental income.
Exactly. Those are common examples of passive income. For instance, you can earn passive income from dividends on stocks or rental income from a property you own.
That sounds appealing. I'd love to earn money while I sleep.
It's definitely a nice idea, but it often requires some initial investment or effort upfront. For example, you might need to invest money in stocks or real estate, or put in some work to create a passive income stream, like writing a book or creating an online course.
Right, I understand. It's not completely passive from the start, but it can eventually become a steady source of income with minimal ongoing effort.
Exactly. And the great thing about passive income is that it can provide financial stability and freedom, allowing you to focus on other things you're passionate about.
That sounds like a dream come true. Do you have any passive income streams yourself?
Yeah, I've dabbled in a few. I have some investments in dividend-paying stocks and a small rental property that generates monthly income.
Wow, that's impressive. How did you get started with that?
It took some research and planning, but I started by educating myself about different investment options and real estate opportunities. Then, I gradually built up my portfolio over time.
That's inspiring. I've been wanting to explore passive income opportunities myself, but I wasn't sure where to start.
There are plenty of resources available online to help you get started, like books, podcasts, and online courses. It's all about finding what works best for you and your financial goals.
Thanks for the advice. I'll definitely look into it further. It would be great to have some extra income coming in without having to work extra hours.
No problem. I'm always happy to share what I've learned. Just remember, building passive income takes time and patience, but it's definitely worth it in the long run.
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks again for the insight.
Anytime. Let me know if you have any other questions or if you want to brainstorm ideas together.
Will do. Thanks, friend.
No problem. Happy to help.
Hey Tom, did you hear about the strike happening at the manufacturing plant downtown?
Yeah, I saw the news about it this morning. Sounds like the workers are really frustrated and demanding better pay and benefits.
Definitely. It's been going on for a few days now, hasn't it? I wonder how it's impacting the business.
Probably quite a lot, to be honest. Strikes can really disrupt operations and hurt a company's productivity and bottom line.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I imagine their customers must be getting pretty frustrated too if they're not able to fulfill orders.
Absolutely. Supply chain issues are such a headache, especially when you have these kinds of labor disputes.
I feel for the workers though. I mean, the cost of living has been skyrocketing, so I can understand why they're fighting for better compensation.
I agree. No one wants to have to go on strike, but sometimes it feels like the only way to get your voice heard and demands met.
Exactly. And it's not just about the money either, is it? They're probably advocating for better working conditions and benefits as well.
Definitely. Things like health insurance, retirement plans, vacation time, those are all important factors too.
Totally. I wonder if the company has tried to negotiate with the union or if they're just taking a hard stance.
Good question. Typically these kinds of labor disputes involve a lot of back and forth negotiations. But sometimes the two sides just can't find common ground.
I see. It must be a really tense situation all around then. Both the workers and the company have a lot on the line.
Absolutely. Strikes can be really disruptive and adversarial. It's usually in everyone's best interest to try to find a reasonable compromise.
I agree. Although I have to admit, I'm kind of rooting for the workers in this case. It sounds like they have some legitimate grievances.
I know what you mean. As long as they're negotiating in good faith, I can understand them taking a firm stance to try to improve their situation.
Right. Hopefully the company sees the value in keeping their experienced, skilled workforce happy and productive.
Definitely. Losing good employees can be just as costly as the disruption from a strike. Finding the right balance is key.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see how it all plays out. It'll be interesting to follow the news on this.
For sure. These kinds of labor disputes can really captivate people, can't they? It's almost like workplace drama.
Chuckles, yeah, I suppose so. Alright, back to our own work for now. But I'll be sure to keep you posted on any updates.
Sounds good. Let me know what you hear. I'm curious to see how this all shakes out.
Will do. Catch you later, Tom.
Later, Lily.
Hey Sarah, have you been following the news about interest rates lately? It seems like they're always in the headlines these days.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a hot topic for sure. I feel like interest rates are always changing and impacting the economy.
Definitely. The central bank has been raising rates pretty aggressively over the past year or so, right?
Yes, that's right. They've been trying to combat high inflation by increasing the benchmark interest rate.
And what exactly does that mean for us as regular consumers and workers? How does it impact our day-to-day lives?
Well, higher interest rates tend to make things like loans, mortgages, and credit card balances more expensive.
I see, so it makes borrowing money more costly. That must be tough for a lot of people.
Exactly. It can make big purchases like homes and cars less affordable, and credit card bills can really start to add up.
Yikes, that doesn't sound good. And I imagine it impacts businesses as well, not just individual consumers.
Absolutely. Higher interest rates make it more expensive for companies to borrow money to invest and grow their operations.
I see. So it kind of puts a damper on economic activity and expansion overall, huh?
Right, that's a good way to put it. The central bank uses interest rates as a tool to try to slow down an overheated economy.
Interesting. So what's the goal there? Just to try to rein in inflation and keep prices more stable.
Exactly. By making it more expensive to borrow and spend, they are hoping to cool down consumer demand and bring inflation under control.
Ah, I understand now. It's all about that delicate balance between economic growth and price stability.
Precisely. The central bank is trying to thread the needle and engineer a soft landing for the economy.
That sounds challenging. I imagine they have to be very careful and strategic about how they adjust interest rates.
Definitely. Even small changes in the interest rate can have pretty significant ripple effects throughout the economy.
Wow, it's amazing how much influence the central bank has through this one policy lever. It's kind of eye-opening.
I know, right? Interest rates are such a fundamental economic driver. It's crazy how much they impact our daily lives.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for taking the time to walk me through all of this, Sarah. I feel like I have a much better grasp on the topic now.
Happy to help. Interest rates can be a complex subject, but it's important to understand how they work and affect us all.
Definitely. I'll be sure to keep a closer eye on the news and economic updates going forward.
Good plan. All right, back to work for us. But let me know if you have any other questions about interest rates down the line.
Will do. Thanks again, Sarah. Catch you later.
Sounds good, bye.
Hey, Alex, can I ask you something about social welfare programs? I've been thinking a lot about that topic lately.
Sure, what's on your mind? I'm happy to chat about it.
Well, I'm just curious to get your perspective. What do you think about the role of social welfare in our society?
That's a really interesting and important question. I think social welfare programs play a vital role in supporting and uplifting members of our community who are in need.
I agree. It's something I've been thinking a lot about, especially as I've been learning more about it in my social work classes.
That's great that you're taking an interest in it from an academic standpoint. What have you been learning about social welfare programs?
Well, we've been discussing things like unemployment benefits, food assistance, Medicaid, and other programs that provide a safety net for people.
Absolutely, those are all crucial components of a robust social welfare system. They help ensure that everyone has access to basic necessities, even if they're facing difficult circumstances.
Exactly. And I think it's so important, especially for vulnerable populations like the elderly, disabled, or low-income families.
I couldn't agree more. Those programs can make a huge difference in people's lives. Do you have any personal experiences or anecdotes you've learned about?
Well, in one of my classes, we had a guest speaker who works at a local food bank. She shared some really eye-opening stories about the families they serve and how vital that assistance is.
Wow, that must have been a powerful presentation. It's easy to forget sometimes just how many people in our own communities are struggling to make ends meet.
Definitely. It really opened my eyes to the realities that a lot of people face and the critical role that social welfare plays.
I can imagine. It's easy to take those programs for granted if you haven't experienced that kind of need yourself.
Absolutely. So what are your thoughts on the future of social welfare in our country? Do you think it's an area that needs more investment and support?
That's a great question. Personally, I think social welfare programs are essential, and I believe we need to continue strengthening and expanding them to meet the evolving needs of our society.
I agree. I've been reading about how things like the rising cost of living and income inequality have put a strain on a lot of these programs.
Yes, exactly. The demand for social services is only going to continue growing, so it's crucial that we invest in them and ensure they're able to effectively support those who need it most.
Definitely. I'm glad to hear you're so passionate about this issue. It's something I really care about as well.
That's great to hear. I think it's an important topic for all young people to be engaged with, as we're the ones who will be shaping the future of social welfare.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me about this. It's been really insightful.
Of course, I'm always happy to discuss this kind of thing. Let me know if you ever want to talk more about it.
Will do. Thanks again, Alex. I appreciate your perspective.
Anytime. Take care.
You too, bye. Hey, Noah, can I ask you something about cybercrime? I'm a bit worried about it.
Sure, what's on your mind? I'm happy to chat about it.
Well, I keep reading all these news stories about data breaches and hackers stealing people's personal information. It's really concerning.
Oh, I know what you mean. Cybercrime is a big problem these days. It can be really scary to think about.
Exactly. I mean, we have so much of our personal and financial information online these days. It makes me worried that it could all get hacked.
I can understand that. With more and more of our lives being digital, it's easier for criminals to access our sensitive data.
Right. And it's not just individuals, even big companies and government organizations are getting hacked. It makes you wonder how secure anything really is.
Yeah, no kidding. Cybercriminals are getting more and more sophisticated. They are always finding new ways to break into systems.
It's crazy. I heard about this one case where hackers stole millions of dollars from a bank by just sending a fake email.
Wow, that's pretty bold. Cybercrime can take all sorts of forms: phishing, malware, ransomware, you name it.
It's just so frustrating. I feel like I have to be on high alert all the time to avoid getting scammed or hacked.
I know, it's a real hassle. We have to be really careful about things like opening emails, downloading files, and using public Wi-Fi.
Definitely. And then there's the whole issue of identity theft. I'd be devastated if someone stole my identity and ruined my credit.
Oh, I can imagine. That would be a total nightmare to deal with. Identity theft is one of the worst forms of cybercrime.
Exactly. It's just such an invasion of privacy. And it can take ages to fix the damage.
Absolutely. That's why it's so important to monitor your accounts and credit reports closely. Catching it early can make a big difference.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I just feel a bit powerless, you know? Like, there's only so much we can do to protect ourselves.
I get that. Cybercrime can feel really overwhelming. But there are steps we can take, like using strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and being cautious online.
That's true. I guess I just need to be more proactive about it. It's just frustrating that we have to deal with this at all.
I know, it really is. But unfortunately, cybercrime isn't going away anytime soon. We just have to stay vigilant and do what we can to protect ourselves.
Yeah, you're right. Well, thanks for chatting about this, Noah. It's good to know I'm not the only one who's worried about it.
Of course, anytime. Cybersecurity is an important issue we all have to be aware of these days. Let me know if you ever want to discuss it more.
Will do. All right, back to work for us. But I appreciate you taking the time to talk this through.
No problem at all. Take care, Mia.
You too, Noah. Catch you later.
Hey, Sam, can I ask you something about the cost of living these days? It's really starting to stress me out.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's been going on? Is everything okay?
Well, it's just that everything seems to be getting more and more expensive. Rent, groceries, gas, you name it.
Yeah, no kidding. The cost of living has really shot up lately. Can be really tough to manage.
Exactly. I feel like I'm constantly having to stretch my paycheck further and further just to cover the basics.
I can imagine. It must be really stressful trying to make ends meet with everything costing so much.
It is. And I'm not even living an extravagant lifestyle or anything. I'm just trying to get by, you know?
Absolutely. The basic necessities these days are anything but basic when it comes to the price tag.
I mean, just the other day I went to the grocery store and my usual bill was like $50 more than normal.
That's rough. The prices of food and other essentials have really been skyrocketing.
It's crazy. And it's not just groceries. Even little things like going out to eat or getting gas can really add up.
Yeah, no doubt. Everything feels so much more expensive these days. It's hard not to feel the pinch.
Definitely. And it's not like my salary has gone up to match the increased costs, you know? I'm really having to budget carefully.
I can imagine that's really stressful. Have you had to make any significant changes to your spending habits lately?
Oh, for sure. I've had to cut back on a lot of non-essential expenses just to keep up with the rising costs.
That's tough. It's never easy having to sacrifice things you enjoy or reduce your quality of life.
Exactly. I just wish the cost of living didn't have to be such a constant source of worry, you know?
I totally understand. It can feel really draining to have to be so hyper-focused on every dollar just to get by.
Definitely. And I know I'm not alone in this. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way.
Absolutely. These inflationary times are really squeezing a lot of folks, unfortunately.
I just hope things start to stabilize soon. I don't know how much longer I can keep up this level of budgeting and sacrifice.
I hear you. Hopefully the economy will start to improve and ease some of the financial pressure. Hang in there, Emily.
Thanks, Sam. It really helps to talk about this with someone who understands.
Of course, anytime. We've all got to look out for each other during these tough times.
Definitely. All right, back to work for me. But I appreciate you listening.
Absolutely. Take care, and let me know if you ever need to vent about the cost of living again.
Will do. Thanks, Sam.
Anytime. Catch you later.
Yep, see you.
Hey, Alice. I heard you were in an accident yesterday. Are you okay?
Oh, hey, James. Yeah, I'm all right, just a little shaken up. I was on my way home from work when another car ran a red light and T-boned me.
Ouch, that sounds awful. I'm so sorry to hear that. Were you hurt at all?
No, thankfully I'm okay. Just a few bumps and bruises, nothing too serious. But my car is pretty banged up.
I can imagine. That's gotta be so stressful to deal with. Have you been able to get it looked at yet?
I took it to the mechanic this morning. They said the damage is pretty extensive and it's going to take a while to get it repaired.
Ugh, that's the last thing you need right now. I hope your insurance is able to cover the costs.
Yeah, me too. I filed the claim yesterday, but I'm still waiting to hear back from them. In the meantime, I've had to rent a car.
Rental cars can get expensive. That's really adding insult to injury, huh?
You got that right. It's been a real hassle, that's for sure. But I'm just grateful I wasn't hurt worse, you know.
Absolutely. The important thing is that you're safe. Everything else can be replaced or repaired.
That's true. I just wish it didn't have to be so complicated. Dealing with the insurance company and the mechanic is enough to give me a headache.
I can only imagine. Car accidents are such a pain to deal with, even when you're not majorly injured.
Tell me about it. And on top of that, I've been having to figure out other transportation to and from work.
Ah, I see. Have you been able to get rides with friends or family? Or are you relying on public transit?
A bit of both, really. My boyfriend has been driving me in the mornings, but the bus in the evenings has been a real pain.
That's got to be a hassle, especially after a long day at the office.
Definitely. I'm just ready for this whole ordeal to be over, you know. I can't wait to have my car back.
I bet. Well, hang in there, okay? I'm sure it'll all get sorted out soon enough.
Thanks, James. I appreciate you checking in. It's been a tough few days, but I'll get through it.
That's the spirit. And hey, if there's anything I can do to help out in the meantime, just let me know.
I will, thank you. I should probably get back to work, but I'll keep you posted on how everything goes.
Sounds good. Take care of yourself, all right?
Will do. Thanks again, James.
Anytime. Heads back to his own desk.